Hi Sagittarius, thanks for joining me for the June of 2019 Taroscope with Animal Totem. I'm Vickie, the Rock and Roll Prophetess, and this is your June reading. We're going to use the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, as always, followed by the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards. If you are Patreon level 2, there will be a bonus card pulled from the Ethereal Oracle card by J.D. Arichi. It's kind of a big month for you guys because it's going to be your full moon. And not only just a full moon in Sagittarius, by the way, that is occurring on the 17th of June. But it's a full moon on the galactic center. So it's kind of a big full moon for everybody, actually, but it's right in your sign. So it's kind of a big deal this month. Another thing that's going on this month is it's the solstice. So if you're in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be the summer solstice. And if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be the winter solstice. Excuse me. No matter where you're at, it's a change of season. Okay. So it's a change of season. It's your full moon, which means things are really coming to completion. As to the solstice, I do offer a special limited time reading just on the solstice as it affects your chart. And you could check that out on my website if you're interested. Okay, so here is your reading, Sagittarius. By the way, you've got some court cards here, which are the people. And in these general readings, they don't necessarily, like this is a queen, but it's not necessarily male or female because it's just too many people. If you wanted to get a more in-depth reading, you would have to get a personal reading. This is you, for no matter who you are. That is you. That is the fire sign person. So that is you. You're in the center of your world. You're in the center of your universe. And there's definitely news coming for you, many of you, around that full moon in the time of fire. So we won't be in the time of fire, but we will have that fire full moon, I should say. I don't know if I said new moon. I meant full moon. And again, that's on the 17th of June. It looks like for a lot of you, it's going to be some kind of news about money. All the young dudes carry the news. So the news is coming. The news is about money. There's a King of Pentacles there. So he's the money, he or she is the money man. He or she, the king, is always further along on their path. So they are the person who is the leader, probably the emperor as well. Probably the emperor. There's a lot of stuff, they're on your side. They're going to help you. They're offering you something. They want you to come and work for them. They want you to maybe go on the road or go on tour with them. Because there's a couple of travel cards here. When you have one or the other, it doesn't necessarily mean travel, because it could either or could be like you're moving on with your life. And then Chariot is a huge success card. Matter of fact, like the biggest success card in the entire deck. But when you get two of them together, it almost always does mean that there is some traveling going on. And Sagittarius, you love to travel. That's what you're known for. You rule of the 9th house and you love traveling. That's your thing. You have Jupiter in your sign this year. I mean, this is just a big year for Sagittarius all around. So it may be involving travel. You may be having to go on the road. You may go on tour. Tour just stood out to me. Let that happen. And by the way, in these cards, if you see things that are standing out to you, definitely let that happen. You may have to relocate to take the job. The job itself may involve traveling. There's a lot of different ways that this could play out for different people. It's going to take some stress off of you, though. I mean, this isn't anything like, oh God, I got to move or I got to take a. It's not anything that you're stressed about. It's something that's going to completely relieve your stress and take it away. And it does seem like you have been. You have been having some stress here lately. And this is going to relieve it, to make it better in a big way. It's not just a mild, when the Chariot shows up, this is not just a mild, minor type of little thing. This is usually a pretty big thing, and it looks like it's a big thing. A payment, that payment is really showing out to me. So the payment, part of it is really big. And it looks like it's a big payment or payout I'm getting. Yeah, you're right there. You're right there next to the King of Pentacles. You're right there next to the Emperor. So you're right there next to them. they're your right-hand man, or you're their right-hand man, or you're working side by side. There's something about that that's really pulling me in, and I want to make note of that. And also the word fun stands out to me on here. So even though it does seem like it's work related, it seems like you're really having fun and you're really enjoying it. You know, it could even be like your dream job or something. I think for many of you it could be a dream job. I mean, the traveling alone, that should be something that you love anyway. So notice how this stuff is next to her, but she looks over here at this. So we're not looking at the bad stuff that went wrong. We're looking over here at this good stuff that's about to come. The Emperor is offering something really good for you. That's for sure. I think that the King of Pentacles and the Emperor are the same person in many cases, but it could be two different people. It could be that this is the first one, like if it's an interview process. This could be the interview, and then they say, okay, and then you have to travel and go on the second interview to go work with the Emperor. I also want to note that they both have these horned creatures. I think this is more representative of Taurus. You see those horns on there, and down here too? And then and this one is more about Aries usually, because there's a 2 there and 2 up there. But there's something about that for some people. Could have been something that went on during Aries and Taurus time. So when we were in Aries and Taurus, that would have been last month in April, or 2 months ago in April. That's when we went from Aries to Taurus. It might have been something that went on around then. To me, this feels like it's more like where you're going. Like it would be a place where you see a lot of this kind of stuff, like maybe where there's cattle ranches, or I'm really picking up for somebody in particular, I'm picking up, it's going to be like up by Montana, or Utah, or Oregon, you know, where you would see mountain goats, and I'm seeing like mountains and stuff like that. And I don't know if they really do a lot of cattle up there, but I think that might be a thing. That might be part of it. Or maybe that's how this guy made his money, through cattle ranching, or maybe that's where the guy or girl, or maybe that's where he's, the job is based, even though it doesn't mean you're going to go work on a cattle ranch, you know, but it might be that there's a lot of that in the area, you know, that's a thing that is in that area where you're going to. But it looks really, really favorable. A lot, you know, there's some stress and some hard stuff here, but, oh, grabbing the wrong deck again. But, you know, you're moving on from that. This full moon is great for you. This is really powerful with that. When things are aligned with that galactic center, it's really magical. It's coming from the higher dimensions. So this is something that's coming through from a higher dimension from you. It's a gift. It's a gift from the universe. I'm going to write that as, even though it's your birthday, gift from the universe. I'm going to put birthday gift from the universe. Yeah, like that. From the universe. Yeah. Okay, let's get our animal totem card. I am offering a special solstice reading to change the season. It's very popular. It'll be available for a limited time. Also, I do a weekly reading for my Patreon people. It's astrology and tarot. And if you don't want to join the Patreon thing, you can just pay for one at a time, or just check it out. You can find that through Gumroad. That'll be available below. I have all sorts of readings on my page, so please do check it out. And I have books and decks and other things. Okay, animal totem. Before I read the animal totem, which is the raccoon, this Viv or Viva stood out to me. And of course, when I hear Viva, I think Viva Las Vegas, right? So Viva stands out to me, and X stands out to me. So for somebody out there, there's somebody who has an X in Vegas, or something like that. Okay. All right, your animal totem is the raccoon. Raccoons are all about wearing that mask. That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I think of the raccoon. But let's take a look at it, and then let me read what I wrote initially. Masked marauder in the night. Resourceful, curious, tactile, resilient. Ceremony, ritual, the shaman's journey. It's a shaman's journey, but the word journey still shows up in it. Paying meticulous attention to hygiene and diet. Yeah. Well, you know what I just heard? I heard you're a stranger in a strange land. So I think that that is a thing. Like I feel like for many of you, you're starting over, and it's the Jupiter in your sign. It's the solstice energy of the change of seasons. It's the full moon in your sign in the galactic center. This is a big time of shifting and changing. And this mask thing. I heard you're a stranger in a strange land. That's the big message that I got from it. And the mask, again, really stood out to me. But we cannot forget that this shaman's journey was in there. The fact that it's a shaman's journey, which is like a death and rebirth, but I get the feeling, what I want to put to this is that there's going to be something more to it than meets the eye. Like you might be going on this trip or this journey or moving because of this job, but really there's some deeper, like shamanic, spiritual, mystical thing really going on. Okay? Alright, everybody, so thanks for tuning in. If you're a Patreon level 2, you can tune into the bonus card you get access to all 12 plus the weekly readings. It's kind of a good deal. But have a I was going to say happy birthday, but a happy full moon in your sign. Remember, you're a love and beauty incarnate. If you want to subscribe, website, links below. Thank you so much. See you next month. Bye.